If you're hoping for more rain, you are not alone. According to NOAA, the current drought is affecting nearly 1.5 million Southwest Floridians. All counties in the region have severe to extreme drought conditions, and that's raising concerns about this year's wildfire season. While a lack of precipitation isn't uncommon here, scientists say we're actually seeing a change in our area, rain patterns that will have profound impacts on our region. To explain, we are joined now by Professor of Ecology and Environmental Studies at FGCU, Dr. Edwin Everham. Welcome, Dr. Everham. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Senator. Really nice to be here today.
Well, let's start with this. I think a lot of us got used to basically every afternoon we could just anticipate those late afternoon rain showers, and it feels like that's changing. Is it? And if so, why?
Yeah, I think anybody who has been here for more than 10 years remembers that time. But of course, it's April still.
Yeah.
And so we don't anticipate that time coming until sometime between May 15 and June 15 when God turns on the rain, right? But historically, in our experience, that there's a moment when the rainy season starts and it just sets in. So I used to joke about, you could look at the weekly weather broadcast and it would say, high in the low 90s and low in the high 70s and chance of rain 70% every day.
Yeah.
And so we were just used to those afternoon rainfalls. And that sure seems to have changed.
So help us understand why. And the other change, it seems, is that we're seeing, at least scientists say, we're seeing more intense rainfalls, what some folks call these rain bombs.
Yeah. So when I talked with other ecologists, when they started to see these shifts in the afternoon rainfall, one theory was that we were losing so many inland wetlands. As we develop away from the coast, we often drain wetlands to put in homes, to put in roads, and that those interior wetlands on a hot summer day are going to evaporate water, create clouds, and then cause a rainfall. So that could have been what was driving it. I really feel like the change has changed in the last 5 years, and it seems very much more that what we're seeing is shifts in these global patterns of movement of currents, of movements of masses of air, the trade winds, the things that are making these more intense storms land in different parts of the landscape.
Does a warmer climate play a big role in this?
I think it absolutely does. And it's hard. We only have one planet, so it's really hard to control the experiment and figure out exactly what's happening. But when I started here in 1996, we already understood what the increased amount of carbon in the atmosphere was doing to solar radiation patterns. So there was certainly projections about how, on average, the Earth would warm. And again, I've really felt in the last 5 years that I'm not thinking about the future anymore. It's arrived. And I think we've all felt how much hotter it's gotten in April and May and into June. When the rainy season sets in, that tends to cool things down a little bit during the day. But wow, do you remember sea surface temperatures of 100 degrees Fahrenheit? I just don't.
No.
And we're seeing them on a regular basis now. So I think that in Southwest Florida, the future of climate change has already arrived. And that we're seeing, on average, warmer temperatures. We, of course, have seen sea level rise slowly, but then that sea level rise manifests itself when we get these cyclonic storms and we get a higher storm surge associated with the storms. But I don't think I anticipated nor fully understand this shift in rainfall. I haven't seen any evidence yet that we're getting less rain in a year. But it seems like instead of having a little bit of rain every day during the rainy season, we can get a severe rainstorm and then go 3, 5, 7 days with no rain at all during the rainy season, and then another severe storm. And then, of course, we've been getting so many more hurricanes arriving that when you total up the rain at the end of the year, it's, this is what we see on average, between 50 and 60 inches a year, but it's coming in different slugs. If I can add this part, I recently said, if you can imagine trying to grow a houseplant and it needs a cup of water every day, but you decide not to give it any water for a week, but then at the end of the week you give it a whole gallon all at once. It's not good for the plant. It's not good for our landscape. It's not good for our wetlands. It's not good for the plants and animals that are adapted to the seasonal dry down and then a seasonal saturation.
Dr. Everham, we so appreciate your insight. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks for watching. We've got more great content for you, from news to the arts to the environment. So be sure to like and subscribe to WGCU's YouTube channel and follow us on our social media platforms for the stories that matter to you.